Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until about 5 o'clock. Yeah, about 5 o'clock. It's been a while. All my settings is all messed up. I got to get everything together. But good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. I had a great week last week. I had a great weekend. Well, not a great weekend, but I had a weekend, and you can't beat that. Excuse me, as usual, say hi to me, just so I know somebody out there kind of checking me out. I'm looking for a particular video that I want to talk about a little bit. Looking for a particular video that I want to discuss a little bit. Why you look so dark? I look dark? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can fix that. My settings is all messed up. Is that better? Is that better, Lady K? I tried to brighten it up a little bit. Sierra wants to know, did I win any Emmys at the Grammys? Apparently they was giving out Emmys at the Grammys. I was listening to Lincoln Ware show. I missed the Grammys. I was watching a thing about Frederick Douglass, and I totally forgot the Grammys were coming on. I'm listening to Lincoln Ware, and a lady called in talking about Beyonce won more Emmys at the Grammys than any other artist has ever won. And, you know, she was talking about the fact that she got a kid and somehow that made it okay to be late. And okay, whatever. So now I look gray. Well, y'all forgive me. My settings are a little messed up here. It's been a minute since I've been on here, so my settings are a little messed up. Hold on, let me do this. Let me make sure this stuff is all. We go here. What? Come on. But yeah, apparently, you know, the Grammys were on last night and they were giving away Emmys. Lincoln said it. Lincoln talked about, people winning Emmy awards at the Grammys as well. So, hey, I didn't know that was what they did there, but apparently I don't know everything. Y'all, hold on, y'all give me a second with this camera. Give me a second with the camera. All right, that should be there. That should be about there. That should be about there. Go back here. Let's see, we go here. Stop doing that. Okay, sorry y'all. When I turn everything off and then had to turn it back on, my settings are not all the same. No, I still don't like that. Look, we're gonna live with that. I don't know what it looks like. I'll fix it by tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, apparently they were giving out Emmys at the Grammys. And if I ever win an Emmy at the Grammys, I will be there live for my acceptance speech. No, they kept mistaking Emmys for Grammys, and I thought it was funny. That's it. No big deal. Hold on, let me recap. Okay, last week, y'all know I wasn't here for a few days. I went to see AEW wrestling up in Dayton. And I don't remember if I've talked to you guys since then. I don't think I did. It was a good show. It was a good show. And I enjoyed it. It was a good show and I enjoyed it. And that's that. Nothing much more to say about that. But it was a good show and I enjoyed it. Other than that, I went to Indiana, saw the Lakers play the Pacers. I was rooting for the for the Pacers, because, I don't like that LeBron James. So I was rooting for the Pacers, but they came back and won. Oh, I was so disappointed. I was like clapping and enjoying and cheering. But I will tell you, probably just over half of the stadium or the arena had on Laker jerseys and they were cheering for the Lakers. Just over half. But it's a nice facility. I enjoyed it. They had things going on before the game. I've never been to an NBA game. They had a live band playing in the lobby. They had a number of meet and greets. They had things for the kids, little balloon animals and things that they were making for the kids. And it was a good time. It was a good time. And there was, we got there a couple hours early. So we got a chance to, with some of the dancers, they did meet and greets. They were signing autographs. I didn't get no autograph. I don't know them. They were taking pictures with people. I didn't take no picture with them. I don't know them. They were taking pictures with the little mascot and everything. I don't know that dude. Wasn't taking no pictures with him. But other people were, and everybody seemed to have a really good time. It was a number of interesting places to eat. Speaking of that, I think I ate something that I should not have eaten, because Friday, I felt terrible. And I really thought, did I get the Rona? I was sitting next to this dude. It was an older white dude, and he kept coughing. He was covering his mouth, but it wasn't a good mouth cover. He was covering it like this. And I'm thinking, dude, I can see through there. You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to do? Like, that's not, like everything, you're just funneling it through. I'm like, you ain't even, cover it. And so I finally said to old boy, when you cover your mouth, can you, because I had on a mask, but when you cover your mouth, can you do it this way? At least the stuff would be shooting that way. And he looked at me and kind of laughed, but then he did it after that. But, oh my goodness, what kind of mouth cover? And he kept doing it. And I'm like, that dude gave me the Rona. But I think it was the food, because then my stomach, started, bubbling. Y'all know what I'm saying? My stomach started bubbling. I had these nachos. They were loaded nachos, and they were delicious. But apparently they did not agree with my stomach, because all day Friday and half the day Saturday, let me just say, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom. But I will tell you this. Every time I went to the bathroom, it smelled like nachos. It smelled pretty good. I was like, nachos? Are you out there making nachos? It was crazy. But I'm all right. By about Saturday afternoon, I was better. But I just chilled. I relaxed Saturday. And then by Sunday, I was 100% again. So I think that might have been what it was, those nachos. But they did taste good. But, oh, boy. Oh. But I did. I thought dude gave me the Rona. Who covers their mouth like that? Who does that? Well, he did it. He's sitting right next to me. But, no, I don't have it. I'm fine. No, there were no peppers on it. No, I didn't get no peppers. There was some spicy cheese, though. That might have did it. But, yeah, I was all right. But I spent most of Friday and a little bit of Saturday. Angela says, I highly doubt. Look, my daughter came over and thought we made nachos. Are you all right? Y'all made nachos? No! Nobody made nachos. Why are you standing talking to me through the door? I'm fine. Oh, somebody trying to call me. I have to turn that off. But everything was all right. But I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. And then I paid for it. I had to take a number of them. I spent almost the whole day in there. Other than that, how's everything else going? How's everything going? Everything's going good for me. I did have a question. I'm looking for this. There's a video that I saw where apparently something happened. Something happened, and I keep trying to look for it because I have the video on my phone, but I can't find it. Oh, let me do this. I know where to find it. Go here. I know where to find it. I've been running so far behind. I am happy. Coincidental, I went to an NBA game, and I have some NBA stuff that I want to talk about, but I'm not a sports guy or a sports talk show, and I won't be talking about it from the sports perspective. All right? I won't be talking about it from the sports perspective. If I can pull up this video. Where is it? Right there. There's the video I want to pull up. See if I can get it. And then let's bring you, sir, over here. Now I'm talking to the computer because I have a mental problem. Talking to the computer. Let's see if we can do that. Y'all forgive me. I still haven't automated this. See if we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. And I want to talk about this. Apparently there was some sort of something that happened, some sort of altercation. Hold on, I'm supposed to be putting myself in the screen. I don't necessarily have to. And let me go back here. No, back here. Things ain't happening the way I want them to happen. Okay, here we go. Here and here. All right. So apparently something happened, and some guys in Memphis got into it with some other ball players. So some of the guys from the Memphis Grizzlies, as they got on the bus, they got into an altercation, verbal. But when they got on the bus, they were pointing lasers at players from, the Pacers. They were pointing lasers at people from the Pacers. And apparently these were Ja Morant's friends. These were his friends. And yeah, people, Daryl says this story is 2 weeks old. Not the point. And Shannon Sharp had a bit of a issue for him, or with what he was doing.
I wish Ja would realize that he's not a stud. Ja is a really good basketball player. Ja did everything he could to lift himself and his family out of this type of environment and to get away from this. And for some reason, he wants to surround himself with these type of people. Why? Bro, you not hard. That's not your life. People that in that life would give anything to be in your life.
Great point.
For some reason, you are worth 30. You got a $200 million contract, and you want people in the NBA to think you hood, to think you gangster, because you roll with these type of people. Bro, you putting yourself in harm's way when you don't have to. Nobody looks at you, John, and think, man, that's a thug. He hood. He down. He about that. You not. Stop pretending. All you do is yap and talk about, oh, I'm going to let him live to see another day. I'm going to do this. You're not going to do nothing. What you're going to do is get yourself in trouble put yourself and your family in harm's way when you don't have to. Just play basketball. If you want to do all that chirping and all that about y'all good, how great you are, even though your record indicate, since you made your statement, Dylan Brooks made his statement, you've been awful, have at that. I got no problem. I wish you wouldn't talk so much, considering y'all talk so much to have done so little. That's a part of it. I get that. But this, what you're going about, pretending like you down like that you tote, that you carry, bruh, you putting yourself in harm's way. And it's not a good look for you. Stop this, man. This is not you. You played basketball to get out of this environment. You could, hey, I guarantee you got homeboys. You say that's your fam. You tweet out that's your fam that probably had talent like you, but they chose that life. Bro, you need to let that go, because that's not you. It's not. You pretend like you hard, but you're not, Ja. You opening yourself up. You're putting yourself in a position you don't even need to be in. And for what? For street cred? Come on, bro.
All right. Now, I don't really have that much of an issue. Ja can do whatever Ja want to do. But my question is, it's not just Ja Morant or people like that. I couldn't come on this show and allow people to think, if people think you soft or whatever, people try to take advantage of you. There is a thing in our culture, and I'm not talking about black culture, I'm talking about American culture, where you have to be a certain something. And you don't necessarily have to be a thug, but you gotta be a certain something. Do you look at Ja Morant or anybody else and look at them like there's something wrong with you if you embrace maybe that certain side of you? I'm not even sure that what I'm saying makes sense the way I want it to make sense. I'm not sure that it makes sense the way I want it to make sense. But you can't run around and people thinking you soft. Not in today's society, especially not as a young man. And look, I'm 52 years old. As a 52-year-old man in Cincinnati, broke, you know what I'm saying? I pay my bills, but I'm a broke dude. I'm not no millionaire. Have we created a situation that this culture, yes, our culture, black culture in particular, but this culture in general, where you got to play that role? I don't know a lot about Ja Morant. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except for he's really good at basketball. That's about what I know about Ja Morant. He's really good at basketball. Other than that, don't know much about him. I don't know how he grew up, where he grew up. I know for years people have been telling people, once you achieve a certain status, you got to leave that behind. Once you achieve a certain level, you got to leave that behind. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I'm not sure fully to the extent that I agree with it. If a Ja Morant, well, I was about to say something, and when I think about it, I might even disagree with myself before it even come out. Because as much as I don't like LeBron James don't come off as some sort of a thug. But again, I'm not sure where, how the difference between the way they grew up. I'm not sure. If Ja Morant grew up around thugs, I'm just using the terminology because it's the terminology that that Shannon Sharpe used. I keep wanting to call him Sterling Sharpe. His name is not Sterling Sharpe. It's the terminology that Shannon Sharpe used. But this is, I mean, he's a young man. Y'all know culturally, and especially where he is, you know, this NBA culture and all of that stuff, it's a lot more, Shannon used the term hood. Now, I agree. You might have to leave certain stuff and certain people behind if they can't get with the program. Okay? I agree with that. I'll agree. If what you do messes up what I'm doing, you can't be with me. That I'll agree with. But I understand the mindset of, look, you're my friend. You are who you are. I am who I am. We grew up together. You know what I'm saying? You maybe you didn't have the talent to attain this level of success in this high profile of a field and make this kind of money. So you rolling with me. Like, I got friends, like if I was making money, like if I had a $200 million contract, I got friends that I grew up with who ain't doing what's right now. But if I could help them out, you know what I'm saying? They'd be on my team. They would be on my team. I would have to have a conversation with them. Like, hey, I know how you live. You can't live that way rolling with me. This is different. We doing something different here. We making this money. But at the same time, I know them. And I'm telling you the people that I know. Certain stuff they wouldn't allow. And, you know, they just wouldn't. You're not here as my bodyguard. But trust me, some of these people that I know, some of these people that I grew up with, they would think they was my bodyguard. Somebody say something, get out of line, they gonna step to them. Because that's just who they are. And I would have to make some hard decisions. Like, can you still roll with me? Or not? But hold on, Fame, he's being critical of me, and I'm comfortable with that. He says, this Ja Morant take is effing horrible. This kid done assaulted a juvenile at his home. You say everybody is an AO. His dad allowing himself to let people think he looks like Usher. I don't care about that. Every Bengals game, someone asked me, what are you talking about? See, now you off on, I was going to read it, but now I don't know what you're talking about. If he assaulted a juvenile at his home, that's wrong. That's why I say it's certain stuff you got to leave behind. But we've been hearing for years about leaving a certain element, your friends behind. And I've always understood when some of these young men say, I'm not leaving these people behind. These people are a part of me. These people are a part of why I'm here. So while I agree with Shannon, if you ain't no thug, you don't necessarily have to pretend to be a thug. But at the same time, we live in a society where you can't be soft. And people look at, if you're not a thug, certain people, if you're not a thug, you soft. So I don't know. I kind of understand. But again, look, I don't know everything about Ja Morant. I don't. But seeing what Shannon had to say and seeing his take on it, I'm conflicted about it. Because especially if you're running around here in this hip hop culture with some of the things that's going on in hip hop culture, and you kind of presenting yourself as soft, people will try you and take advantage of you. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, Faye, hopefully this one don't devolve into being about you looking like somebody. He says, Ja Morant works for a $10 billion corporation. He needs to act accordingly. I don't know that there's any such thing as act accordingly. I don't know. I reject, and maybe that's why I am where I am, which is in my basement, talking to like 60, 70 people, as opposed to some major corporation talking to tens of thousands. But I reject the idea that I have to tailor who I am for this corporation. If you want me, you get me. If you want me, you get me. And I'm one who's willing to accept the consequences of I'm going to be who I'm going to be. But he says he needs to act accordingly. Stuff like this makes others say they need to go to college and mature before being given millions. All right. All right. Lewis, a.k.a. CK, says these are the types of people you got to stay far away from. See, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. You don't necessarily have to leave people behind. Maybe just tailor how you interact with them going forward. Or maybe I'm going to use the term and I don't, hey, I hate the fact that I'm going to use a classification that seems to put a value on, but maybe you elevate them to where you are as opposed to leaving them behind. And that I think you have to determine who you can elevate. Maybe I don't leave you behind, but you can't roll with me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just can't roll with me. You could be my boy. You could come to the house. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. But I'm going on the road and you trouble. And I have to recognize you are trouble so you can't roll with me. I don't know. I don't know. Ben says that makes no sense to chance possibly throwing your life and career away behind the company you deal with. All right. Presenting yourself as soft is valuable in hip hop. Look at Will Smith and stop it. Stop it. Let's see. Michael Jordan acted accordingly. So did Magic Johnson. So did Kobe. So did Shaq. So did Larry Legend. So did Steph. So does LeBron. But one would argue that Allen Iverson didn't. He had a pretty good career. There are a number of people, they would argue, Rasheed Wallace, they would say he didn't. He had a pretty decent career. There's a number of people who didn't comply, but still had decent careers. Actually, pretty good careers and made pretty good money. So the idea that you have to be Michael Jordan, you have to kiss butt like Shaq, you have to cheese and grin like Magic. But Kobe raped somebody. How did he act accordingly? You have to be like Steph Curry and don't want the poor people to move next to you. Yeah, I saw that story about daggone Steph Curry, and I like Steph Curry. I'm gonna have to look a little more into the story because I like Steph Curry. There has to be more to it. I saw a story where, he's against, they want to move market rate housing near his home. And he and the other very wealthy people around there are very much against market rate people moving in near them. They feel like they're a security risk. I don't like that. I don't like that. But if that's your point, is that you have to be against poor and middle class people, or you gotta kiss butt like Shaq, you gotta, all this other. I don't know that I like the people who are just themselves being themselves. If I got a little bit of a rough edge, I got that little bit of a rough edge. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, it should be okay. He don't look the part. He don't dress the part. He don't act the part. I've never agreed with that stuff. But again, that might be why I'm in my basement. You know what I'm saying? I've always been one who I'm going to march to the beat of my own drummer. I'm not the company man. My position is I am me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best. Maybe I'm not the best person to do this, to have this conversation. Kobe never been charged for anything criminally. He admitted it. Stop it. Wow, Curry acting like a Karen. Look up the story. There was a story. I don't even remember exactly where I saw the story. And I just be, reading the news and stuff. And I did see a story they're trying to put, I believe it was market rate housing, like multifamily townhomes. And Steph Curry is against it. He don't want it in his neighborhood. Or he don't want it, because it wouldn't be in his actual neighborhood. It would be near his neighborhood. He don't want it near his neighborhood. Again, I got to look into it. I got to get more details. I saw it. I read a little bit of the story. I didn't get a chance to really get deep into it and, do a little bit of research and figure out what exactly it is that they're proposing. But just on the surface, that's why I'm saying it's just on the surface. If somebody, I know what they're talking about. I'm talking about what I saw on the surface. That's why I'm kind of reserving judgment, because I like Steph Curry. And I want to keep liking Steph Curry. It sounds bad, but I get why Steph wouldn't want those lower value houses in his neighborhood, because he's above those lower value people. Yeah, I get it too. I don't like it, but I get it. Fame's having a conversation with me. Iverson's friends never fake aimed at NBA personnel. I don't know that to not be true. I don't know it to be true or to not be true. And I'm not justifying that. You made a conversation that you have to act accordingly. But that's why I said you know what I'm saying? You can roll with me, but we need rules, parameters, certain things you can't do. I understand that. I agree with that. I just don't agree everybody has to act, cheesing and grinning and posing as King Kong with a white woman and, all of that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily agree that everyone has to do that. Are you a black man posing as a damn monkey? Talking about this whole you can't, be soft and all of that kind of stuff. I don't portray myself as being hard, as being no thug, as being any of that stuff. Because I'm not. And even though some of the people that I grew up with were, there was always a lot of daylight between us. When there would be certain things that they would say they were going to do, I'm not even rolling with y'all. I'm not. Now, mainly I didn't do it for a couple reasons. Number one, just morally, some of the stuff they were doing, I was against. And again, I've always been me. You're not going to get me to do something that I'm not planning on doing. But then secondly, I was scared to death of my mama. I was one of the people who really believed that my mama would kill me. I genuinely believed it. I'm still not 100% convinced, and she's no longer with us. I'm still not 100% convinced that she wouldn't have. So that kept me from doing some stuff when I was like, because, for me anyway, I got to a certain age and I'm like, okay, which way am I going to go? Because I'm rolling with these guys who do these things and I see the things that they do, and some of it do look fun. Some of it look fun, like they're enjoying themselves. Maybe I'll try this. You know what I'm saying? You're about 11, 12 years old, and you're thinking, at least for me, that was about my age, 11, 12 years old. And I'm thinking, this was not the wording in my head, but do I want to be a thug? It looked like they having fun doing some of that stuff. And I could do it with them. And when I was having those thoughts, over here was, my mama will kill me. Mama will kill me. And it won't be worth it to go have fun over there once or twice and then get caught and be dead because I thought my mama would kill me. So when I was having thoughts about it, that kept me out of it. But again, I would roll with those dudes. They would just have to have a certain level of, but you can't. I said all the time, I don't pretend to be hard, because I'm not. But, I mean, even this Ben Jones, Ben Belichick Jones, even accused me of pretending to be hard. I'm like, how? You think you hard? You ain't nobody. I'm like, I'm just some dude. I'm just some dude. But I feel like if he felt like, this dude, the stuff that they say, they would take it to another level. So at some point, you got to be able to step in and say, I might not be hard, but I'm not one of them little Debbie oatmeal pies either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that soft. So I don't know. I guess it all depends. Hold on. If Emanuel says one more whack thing today, I'm going to sign off into the Wyatt Show. Nobody wants to live around low. I'm not sure. Don't you live in the suburbs? There's no question mark there. I'm not sure if you're asking me a question. But no, I don't live in the suburbs. I don't live in the suburbs. But if you want to log off and wait till Wyatt, I'm comfortable with that. They don't pay me by the person. They don't. No, that's not it. Who would want the value of their houses going down? They spent all that money on, and he's a celebrity. I'm sure he wants to protect his family. Right, because the mindset is, although they live pretty far away from me, they're close enough to me to where, and they're, market rate people, they're going to harm my family. They going to come and they going, what are the market rate people buying townhomes going to do to Steph Curry and his family? So he want to protect his family. What's his wife's name? Aisha? What, he think the market rate people gonna rape Aisha or something? What is the market rate people gonna do? The hardworking people who go to work every day to get a mortgage, to buy a townhome in what's probably considered a nice area because it's close enough to where those celebrities live, where they don't want you there. So I go to work every day, work hard to make money to be able to afford market rate housing in this great area. I'm going to risk it all by what? Doing what to Aisha and the kids? You know those people, but they're not celebrities, so they shouldn't be able to live close to celebrities, right? Right? That's the thing. I don't understand y'all. And y'all buy into this. That's what frustrates me. Y'all buy into this stuff. Because he's a basketball player and makes a lot of money playing basketball. Somehow he's better. He's safer. He's more important than somebody who go to work and work 40, 60 hours a week to afford a mortgage. He has to be protected from them, and his family has to be protected from them because he's a celebrity. They're lesser of value than he. I don't understand, and y'all really, really buy this stuff. It's really annoying. Who you like so we can find flaws in them? I like a lot of people. I just acknowledge that they have flaws. Like I said, I like Steph Curry. But if my understanding of this story was correct, he definitely has some flaws. And I might have to start not liking it. I like Kyrie Irving. He's got flaws. See, I think this is the difference between me and some of y'all. I can like people and acknowledge that they have flaws. The people that you like, you want to pretend like they're flawless. That's where we differ. But I like a lot of people. Livingston don't think he hard. He just think he right about everything. Of course I think I'm right about everything, because if I thought I was wrong, I would change my mind. If you prove to me that I'm wrong about something, I change my mind. And as soon as I find out that that was wrong, I think this. Because, yes, I always think I'm right. Otherwise, why even? I don't understand. I never understood that criticism. Never understood it. You picked an actual snack to compare to being soft ass? Yeah, because those little Debbie oatmeal pie things are really soft. They're really soft. Let's see. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. All right. Let me see. I'm behind on these. Jason says, what? Did I get blocked from calling in? No, you didn't call in. I got the thing up right now. If you would have called in, I would have saw it. If you would have called in, I would have saw it. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. Fame says, Steph ain't shooting all them damn three-pointers to live around a plumber. And the fact that y'all believe that's okay. If there's a development close to his neighborhood where the plumber can afford, the plumber shouldn't be shut out because he's a plumber. But y'all actually believe that that should be okay. Jason, you just called in and hung up before I could pick up the line. You got to let the phone ring a couple times. You gotta let the phone ring a couple times. I glance over, I see it, and before I could even click accept the call, you hung up. Call back, let it ring a couple times. Let me see, bruh. People are crazy these days. No one can deny that. Nobody is labeling them like that. That's you. You said he got to be protected from market rate people. He has to protect his family from market rate people. You typed it. It's not even about that. It could be the nicest white man that looks fine that's the crazy rapist. Limit the number of people the best you can to protect your family. I get it. Okay. You act like you better than us. In some ways, I'm certain I am. And in some ways, I'm certain you're better than me. In terms of the way that some of y'all are perceiving a rich man can't live next to a working class man. He got to protect himself from those working class people. I think my view on that is better than yours, if that's the way you view it. I just do. So, yeah, from that perspective, I think I am. You might not agree. Do you see the way people talk on the internet? Would you want to live next to them people? Hate people with money and celebrity? Oh, I can't believe y'all actually. But y'all I appreciate that y'all being honest. I appreciate that y'all being honest. Most of you are not celebrities, okay? Most of you are not celebrities. So you feel like you're not worthy of living in the same vicinity as a wealthy celebrity. You feel like you're a danger to a wealthy celebrity. Because that's kind of what you're saying. If you're a working class person, but you feel like celebrities should be insulated and isolated and protected from those working class people, you're saying you're not even valuable enough to live near celebrities or wealthy people. That sounds really weird to me. That sounds weird to me. I don't even know what that means, Fame. I put it up on the screen. I have no idea what you mean by that statement. None. B-Rap says, Vince McMahon called Booker T the N-word, but you still support wrestling. Yeah. Again, I don't even know what that means. Cam says, the fact that you think you are right all the time is wrong. Okay. This stuff ain't hard. So, Cam, you think you're wrong most of the time. You have positions in your mind, like you believe things that you actually believe is wrong. Why would you continue to believe those things? Like if I believed, I always like to break it down like super simple. If I believed that 2 + 2 is 5, yes, I believe I'm right. But then once you show me, here, take these 2 blocks. Then take these 2 blocks and add them together. What? That's 4. Guess what? Immediately, I now believe 2 + 2 is 4. And I believe I'm right. Because if initially I really believed that 2 + 2 was 4, why would I say it is 5? Yes, I always think I'm right. You honestly telling me that you believe things You wholeheartedly, in your heart, mind, and spirit, believe things are wrong, but you believe them. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you continue to believe it? Why would you continue to believe it? Let me see. You can have an objective opinion. Example, you can say, I think Kobe raped a woman, but you say since he admitted to it, he must have done it. That's just logical. That's just logical to me. He admitted to it, so he must have done it. So yes, I believe the guy did what he admitted to doing. Janice, stop it. We not doing grammar no more. Everything goes. You can put S's on stuff. You can misspell stuff. You can mispronounce stuff. You can misconjugate. Stop it. Told y'all in 2023, when y'all told me it was okay to put S's on stuff, there ain't no S's on. Let me shift my mindset. And if it's okay to put S's on stuff that ain't no damn S's on, then it's okay to say and do whatever. Grammar and all that stuff is out the window. It's 2023. We not playing them games no more, Janice. Will, you too? You too, Will? Will coming for me. That's all right, Will. Will says, come on now. We talk about a man that thinks if given the opportunity and a little effort, he could do open heart surgery without formal education or training. Of course, he thinks he's right. I've never said that. I don't even know where you got that from. I don't even know where you got that from. Jason says he swears going to voicemail. Bro, I'm looking at the screen right now. I am looking at the screen right now. You popped up. It might have been up there for like 3 seconds. By the time I could move my cursor to it and click accept, you hung up. It says there's a call in progress. So hang up and call back. I'ma just stare at the screen. So y'all, I'm sorry I'm not looking at y'all. I'm just staring at the screen. So, all right. Jason. Oh, hold on a second. Something happened here. Hold on. All right, there we go. Jason.
Finally. Would you click me off the block side?
You were never blocked. Oh, what's on your mind?
I missed the first part of the show. Did you talk about the wrestling match you went to or event?
I didn't really talk about it, but I did say I went. I enjoyed it. I had a great time, and you know that was pretty much all I said about it. I didn't go into detail about it.
See, I went to, I didn't go to a WWE event. I went to a TNA. I think it was TNA. When, dang it, the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, weren't they in TNA before they went back to WWE?
Oh, I think so. I don't think they were in AEW, but they might have been.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't AEW, so let's say TNA.
Okay.
And they had exclusive gear. That's what I was going to ask you. Did they have any exclusive gear when you went?
I did not see any exclusive gear, but I don't typically buy gear, you know, when I go to these events. If I end up with some wrestling gear, typically somebody gifted it to me. I've never purchased any wrestling gear.
I'm guessing there's a difference between AEW, TNA, and WWE, but I didn't like the live wrestling event.
Why not?
Like, it was totally different from TV. I don't know. It just was a different feel. Like, I can't explain. Like, on TV, you know, I guess they add the crowd noises, and then when you was there, it's like it was pretty quiet when I went to that event. Like people cheered and they were talking, but it was pretty quiet.
Okay, so
Unlike
you
TV,
you
they
missed
added
you
the-
missed the commentary because that does add something when you're watching wrestling.
It does. Like when the crowd, like I was very disappointed that the crowd didn't bust into a chant all in unison. Like where you guys at? What are you doing?
Did you try to start a chant?
Heck no.
What? Come
I
on,
sat there as quiet as everybody else.
somebody got to start a chant. You know how many chants happened Wednesday at AEW? Just somebody back there starting a chant.
Look, that's not how it works on WWE. They just it just seemed like the whole crowd bust into a chant.
No, I'm telling you, it's always, I've been to many WWE events. There's always some guy over there and he starts a chant. And this is awesome. It's always somebody who starts a chant. But if nobody start one.
I'm not a pro, so I don't know. So I'll try to catch the next WWE event when they come to town. But what else did you talk about today? Now I forgot what I was gonna say.
We talked a little bit about Ja Morant and his friends, and a little bit about, I read the story about Steph Curry. And if my understanding of the situation is correct, he doesn't want working class people living near him.
I mean, he didn't got to the elitist state of mind, so I wouldn't either if I had that mind state. But somebody in the comments said Vince McMahon called John Cena a nigga. Like, Vince McMahon said a lot of stuff. So if we wasn't supporting that, then we just wouldn't be watching wrestling. You wouldn't be watching nothing on Disney because they support a lot of foolishness. Like, you can't just bring up one person saying one thing, because Vince McMahon has said way worse than niggas. And it was funny. But it was. I mean, it was fun. I'm trying to say it was with
I remember
he had a little skit with Sabu.
I
No,
remember.
not the John Cena. You remember the Sabu one he did?
I don't remember the Sabu one. I remember the Booker T one.
Booker T, like, or was it? I thought it was John Cena. Did he call Booker T a nigga too?
He called him my N-word.
Man, I remember that. I thought it was John Cena too. But look up the skit with Sabu. Like, that was way worse than calling anybody a nigga, because he said "guh." Like, he made sure to pronunciate that G-A. And I ain't never get no email back or call about this T-shirt.
Are you available when I get off the air today?
That's what you said last time.
And you said no.
Right on me.
You said no.
No, that was the time before that you said I'm gonna call you when I get off.
Are you available
'Cause
today?
I tried to call you. Yes, I tried to call you last week, Wednesday, but I didn't realize you were at the end of the show, because when I commented, I was going into the dentist's office, and when I came out, I said you were still on. So I tried to call.
So I can call you
watched
today when I get off.
rest of it.
I'm trying to solve the issue. I can call you today when I sign off.
Yes.
All right, it's on.
Don't put me behind the moped either. Or yeah, was it the moped or was it the scooter?
It's a moped. It's a moped. It's on today.
Either or.
I'm calling you as soon as I get off. All right.
That's all I have for today.
Thank you,
All right,
Jason.
appreciate it.
All right. Oh. Let's see. Wyatt says, could be they don't want their property value to go down by subsidized housing. It could be. It could be. But then what's to talk about protecting your family? So what, if your property value go down, that mean your family gonna die? See, if it was just like, oh no, the property values, blah, 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 then I'd be like, okay, I can kind of understand that. But there was talk of protecting your family from them. They wasn't talking about protecting my family from property value. But again, I'll look more into it. I'm going to look more into it. But I understand that if that was it, But at least for me, you kind of hurt your case when you talk about protecting your family from them. Oh, hold on. Got another call coming in. CK?
Hey, man. Emanuel Livingston, how you doing, brother?
CK, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I had to call you. It got real.
Oh.
It got real because you said Kobe, that's the logical explanation. If he admitted to it, that means he did it, right?
That seems reasonable to me.
Now, that doesn't seem reasonable. He is a black man, remember? Now, because when you confront Donald Trump with, why would you put a full-page ad out on these teenagers to get them the death penalty? The first thing he says is what you said. They did it. They admitted to it. So just admitting to something doesn't mean you do it. That's not being logical. That's why I say you got to have a objective opinion.
Well,
it don't mean, that's the end of the story. He admitted to it.
Well, it's a totally different situation. He was a grown man. He wasn't being interrogated when he admitted to doing it. He had the ability to say he didn't do it, but he chose to admit to doing it. So it's a different, because you keep saying that, like you said that about Bill Cosby. Like, well, what about, you can't bring up the exonerated 5 in that because they were young kids being interrogated.
So what about the grown
police.
people that went to jail for admitting to crimes they didn't commit? You do realize they exist too, right?
There's a difference if you're being interrogated by police for hours on end and things of that nature, right? But we talking about people with all of the means and resources in the world to defend them and their good name. And they still openly and readily admit that they made some bad decisions and did some bad acts. So to me, you can't
gotta
compare
why would
them.
they admit to that? And this is what I'm saying. If you say you got wrongly convicted of something, right?
All right.
And they gave you 20 years. They gave you 20 years in the penitentiary. And they say on your first day in the penitentiary, you done had it rough or whatever. They say, you know what? We'll let you out today if you just admit to doing it. You might consider admitting to something you didn't do.
I might consider it, but that wasn't the case with them.
What they was forced to admit? No, I'm saying with like Michael Jackson and people like Kobe, they are hit with, look, just admit this and we can make this go away right now.
Michael Jackson didn't admit to anything.
Uh-huh.
Michael Jackson didn't admit to anything. Kobe did. Bill Cosby did. Michael Jackson didn't.
No, but he settled. But he settled the case. If I'm suing you for
difference
assault,
between
and you
a
say,
settlement,
I didn't assault that man.
Difference between a settlement and admitting that you did something.
So would you settle to a case where you innocent?
Maybe.
If I'm accusing you of something you didn't do.
Maybe. But
that's the same thing I said. Maybe you would admit to something you didn't do.
No, I'm not admitting. Not admitting it. Nope. Because I didn't do it.
And how many times have you been in this situation where your life was on the line?
I can't think of one.
There you go. It's easy to judge from the outside when you ain't been in these situations.
That's true.
Kobe is a black man accused of raping a white woman. Emmett Till got murdered behind lies.
Now Kobe is Emmett Till?
You know what I mean? He could be if he's innocent. If I'm saying
that's disgusting.
I'm saying
that is disgusting that you would bring up Emmett Till for a guy who admitted that he raped a woman at a high-end hotel.
He gave his life. He died behind innocent.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
If you could
there is no comparison.
Okay, you said it's this.
There's no comparison. There's no comparison.
No. How is no comparison?
Emmett Till.
If you can kill a man, you definitely can make a man admit to something.
What did Emmett Till do wrong?
What did Kobe Bryant do wrong?
Well, let's see. He was married and he had sex with a woman outside of his marriage. That woman says that she forced herself upon him. There's a number of things that he did wrong. What did Emmett Till do wrong?
What is wrong? That's his life. How is that wrong? That's between him and his wife. How can you say that's wrong?
What did Emmett Till do wrong?
What did Kobe Bryant? He didn't do nothing wrong. He did something wrong in your opinion.
No,
That's
I'm
how
asking
you
you a simple question.
His wife didn't feel he did nothing wrong.
I'm asking you a simple question. What did Emmett Till do wrong?
Exact, just like it.
Hold on.
Kobe didn't do nothing wrong.
Please
It's
answer
too-
the question. Please. What did
you
Emmett
said
Till?
what?
What did Emmett
No,
Till
I'm
do
saying,
wrong?
I'm saying both of them didn't do nothing wrong.
So
I'm
you
saying
think
both of them
so
was
you
innocent.
think it's okay to rape a chick?
No, I don't think he. That's what I'm saying. You think he did it just because of his words, but I'm telling you, a black man could be forced to admit to things they didn't do.
Okay,
In America,
hold on. So
it
you
wouldn't
think,
be the first time.
Wait, so you think it's okay to have sex outside of your marriage?
I'm not meant that. That's between them two. I didn't take
ask you
a
that.
vow
I
before
asked you
God.
what
That's
do you
between them.
think. I asked you what do you
No,
think?
not for me. Not for me.
So you
but
don't
for
think
him,
that's
he's
okay?
different.
So you don't think that's okay?
No, for me, it's different. I'm not Kobe Bryant.
So-
You don't know if they got to
Hold on.
understand it. Look,
Don't matter.
honey,
The point
you can
is,
have sex with how many people you
you're
want
trying to
have.
compare Kobe Bryant, who
Mm-hmm.
clearly made some questionable moral and legal judgments at the very least, clearly, but Emmett Till was just an innocent boy, and
Emmett died
and in your
behind
mind,
his.
hold on, and in your mind, they're on the same level.
No, they both innocent of accused of a Caucasian.
All right, CK.
You got to understand. They
I
both,
appreciate
no,
your
but
call.
listen. Listen what I'm trying to
you
tell
lost
you, though.
me with Kobe Bryant as Emmett Till. You lost me with
No,
Kobe
I'm
Bryant
saying
as Emmett Till.
No, I'm saying possibly. If he's guilty, he's not. If he's guilty of what they say he did, no, he's not Emmett Till.
He's
but
in
if
no
he
way
is, he
Emmett
could be
Till.
compared.
He's in no way Emmett Till.
No,
In no
hold
way.
on. Listen what I'm saying. If he is an innocent man,
He's clearly not an innocent man.
You saying what? You saying what do they got in
hold on,
capital?
CK.
If he's innocent,
CK, he actually had sex with the woman that he was accused of having sex with. Only point of contention is, did he force it or was it consensual? Now, what did Emmett Till
consensual
do?
sex.
What did Emmett Till do?
He did nothing.
All right, exactly. So you don't compare the two. You don't compare the two. You just don't. At least not in my mind, and not on this show. You don't compare the two. Let's see. Cam says, Emanuel Livingston, if you were right all the time, then why did you get fired from the Buzz on your day off? Well, first, that's not true. I got fired while I was at work. And I got fired because I was right and they were wrong. So that's that. Will, really? Will says, you told Box you could be an attorney without needing to take the bar, sir. Yes. You can represent, I've done it. You can represent yourself in court without having taken the bar. I've done it. And I won. What else? Like, come on, y'all. This stuff ain't that hard. Let me see. I'm like way behind. I got to catch up on these comments. What is it with him? Rapists are innocent. I don't know. Yeah. So, come on. Both the men, rest in peace. Y'all mad disrespectful. It's not disrespectful to say that a man who raped a woman. It's not disrespectful. Jason says Kobe definitely didn't admit the rape. Yeah, he did. Now that's a matter of interpretation. I could see somebody saying that. But let me ask you this. I've had sex with a few women in my life. You'll never hear me say, okay, I could see how that one thought I was raping her. Think back through your entire sexual life, men, and think of the one who you genuinely look at and you be like, okay, I could see how she thought I was raping her. if you can say that genuinely, if you can genuinely say about one of your sexual encounters, I could see where she thought I was raping her. You know what? You raped her. It's simple. You raped her. That's an admission to me. I've never had a sexual encounter where I can look back on and say, okay, when I look back on it, I could see how she thought I was raping her. Never. And if you can say that, you raped somebody. Because there should never be a time when you look back and you can say, I can see how she thought I was raping her. Just period. Let me see. Janice says, that still doesn't make you a lawyer. Well, I disagree with that. But let me see. I could be wrong. I know I like to look stuff up. Lawyer definition: a person who practices or studies law. If I went to court and I practiced law, I was my own lawyer. Yes, that would make me a lawyer by definition. Maybe not by profession, but by definition. If I study law or if I practice law, the definition of lawyer. And I'm just reading the actual definition of lawyer. Lawyer, a person who practices or studies law. So, I might be right again. I might. I'm not saying with 100% certainty. I'm only looking at the definition and applying it to what actually happened. And I know that rules and grammar and, definitions and stuff don't necessarily count anymore. But the definition of it kind of suggests that maybe. Let's see. I will keep coming. Will just keep. Really, Will? I thought he was cool. Will says, keep representing yourselves in them courtrooms, bro. More power to you. All right. What's the definition of delusional? I don't know. Look it up. Find out. I looked it up. Look it up. Post it so we all know. We still go out. Well, you're just coming for me today. It's all right. I accept it. Oh boy, my time is almost up. Kyrie Irving headed to Dallas. I support that. In my mind, if I was him, I would want to get out of Brooklyn too. Not, for the game and all of that kind of stuff. I would want to get out of Brooklyn because I think they did him wrong. And I don't know why he wanted to get out. I know it had something to do with contract coming up on that, but I think it really a part of it was y'all didn't stand by me. When I didn't do anything wrong. Y'all went right along with him. Y'all suspended me and, came out with this list of all the stuff I was supposed to do. So if I was him, I would have wanted to get out of Brooklyn as well. So he won't get a new start because I keep watching people talk about him in this trade and then like all of his off the field problems, off the court problems. Well, okay. You know what I'm saying? He marches again to the beat of his own drummer. But the latest stuff, I still support him. I think he didn't want to take that vaccine. He didn't take the vaccine. And he was willing to suffer the consequences for that. I supported that. I believe in body autonomy. My body, my choice. Same way I feel about abortion. Same way my body, my choice. So I supported him in that. And he posted a link to a movie with no commentary. Like, this is 100% on point. Just a link to a movie. And they gave him a list of stuff he had to do. Something with Vanilla Ice. I'm not sure. I don't remember the whole list. So yeah, I would have wanted out too. But all of these off the court problems, what are they? Okay, he has some issues in Boston, and maybe some issues in Cleveland. But they acting like he running around thugging. But he's really not. He's just not Fame playing the role. And because he's not playing the role, they treated him bad. Lewis. CK says, Livingston, that's me. How many women do you look back and think you raped? None. Zero. None. Not a single one. I'm telling you, fellas, if you looking back through your love life and you can honestly say, okay, I can see where Valerie, that one time when we was having sex, she thought I was raping her. You was raping Valerie. Because women, hold on, maybe I'm wrong. Since y'all don't want me to believe that I'm right, let me go. Women. If you're having sex with a man and you think you're being raped, am I right in believing you are probably being raped? Or am I wrong? Look, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, and I will change my mind about the whole subject. And Kobe, I will listen to the women. So women, if you've ever been in a situation where you think you were being raped, is it fair for me to say you were probably being raped? And if the man can look back at it and say, I could see where she thought she was being raped, don't that mean he was probably raping you? Probably. Or am I wrong? Look, if I'm wrong, right now, I'm open. See, I listen. My mind can be changed. Ladies. Tanika says there's no thinking you're being raped. Either you are or you're not. So if I look back and say, I could see where she thought, I must be on something. Even Shahara said I might be right on this one. Cam trying to play in between the lines. That's a little rapey. If a woman says stop, don't stop, is that rape? If there's a question, stop. I play by that rule. Now, look, granted, I've never been in a situation, but if I'm ever in a situation where I'm having sex, at this point with my wife, and I'm a little confused, like, wait a minute, Did she really want me to stop or did she want me to keep going? I'm confused. I'm stopping. She gonna be the one to have to say, why you stop? And I'm gonna be like, cause you said stop. And she'd be like, no, I was saying don't stop. I'm like, oh, okay, I misunderstood. And then we can resume. But if there's ever the slightest question of, hold on, did she just say stop? I'm stopping. Err on the side of caution, maybe. CK says, hold on. Tell the people what makes you such an expert on the subject. Where did you learn so much about rapists? How many rapists do you know? Not celebrities. I might know one that's really confused about what rape is. I might know one. Maybe. Where did I learn so much? Just paying attention, being respectful, understanding that you don't have a right to do with somebody's body what they don't want you to do. Being willing to stop if asked to stop, or not proceed if asked not to proceed, or if there's any hesitation, pulling back. Simple stuff like that. Respect. Simple. That's how I learned so much. Listening and trying to respect the people and their bodies, their desires. I don't know. Where did I learn so much? And how many rapists do I know? People pushing back on whether or not you should rape somebody make me question whether or not I'm talking to one. CK, you got issues, bro. And you know I like you and I respect you on certain things. But on this, you really do seem to have an issue around what is consensual. You really do seem to have an issue. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you seem to have an issue around this subject. I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? King to man. King to man. Rape is bad. And that's not just men raping women. That's women raping men, adults raping children. Any way that you can look at it, men raping men, women raping women, any way that you look at it, rape is bad. And it might not be the best idea to be the proponent of so many rapists. Because I'm just telling you, king to man, just king to man. It makes you seem a little suspect to people. Eli, Ohio says, is statutory accepted with by women? I think yes. I don't thoroughly understand your question. Let me read it again slowly. Is statutory accepted with by women? Yeah, I don't understand. And it might just be me. Can you reword the question? Just for me. 'Cause I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question. CK says, I never said it was not bad. You lie. You know you wrong. I never said that I had an issue. I just think certain people admit to crimes they did not commit. Okay. I'll accept that as your answer. Eli, Ohio said no one said a thing. Eli, Ohio, I promise you, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what you're talking about. If you can maybe try to be a little more, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I just don't. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I know Wyatt is coming on. I want to have a conversation about women. About protecting women. I was listening to Al Sharpton. Hold on, I got a question here. Man, will you answer my question? Call in. If you call in and ask whatever the question is, call in. I'll answer it. I'll even give you a few more minutes. See if you can somehow build up the nerve to dial 513-717-5464. And I promise you, if you call in, I will answer your question. Other than that's a crapshoot. I might not. You never know. But if you really want a question answered, call in. Black Lion was good. Better late than never. Yeah, it's about over. Wyatt won't be on until about 5:15ish. But I was listening to Sharpton. He wasn't in today. And a woman called in and she started talking about femicide, in particular with black women. And the host, Reverend somebody, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I didn't catch it, actually. But he really shut her down real quick. And she was saying, I want to know why I never hear Al Sharpton or any of these black leaders talking about this epidemic of femicide. And it was something about the way he shut her down that offended me. Something about the way he shut her down that offended me. No, it was not Marquetta. It wasn't Marquetta. She was a tad bit aggressive with the question, but I thought it was a fair question. And he shut her down and was like, I'm gonna put you on hold and you need to talk to our crisis people. Because if there's a crisis, we always own it. I was like, well, why not engage her? Like she might have been on for like 20 seconds. Why not engage her in terms of what it is that she's talking about, and like you would about anything else? And I was like, you know what? And Marquetta does call and talk about this a lot. And I was like, when I think about it, it really is something that we don't discuss anywhere near as much as we should. Not even saying I got answers. Because, right, Raven, he did not have answers. He didn't have the answers. So I'm not even saying that I got answers or that we have answers. But if nothing else, we should have a conversation on a semi-regular basis about protecting our women. Because women are being harmed out here, as we like to say, in these streets. Black women are being harmed out here by black men, by white women, by black women, by Asian women, by Asian men. You just name it. It's some black woman somewhere being harmed by that group, someone in that group. Fame says Marquetta hates men, so everything she says is null and void. Again, this wasn't Marquetta. And it was a woman, and she called in, and I felt like what she asked was, she wasn't attacking anyone. She just asked the question. She said, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase as best as I can. Basically, look, it's a lot of femicide going on. She said, black women are out here being killed, and she gave off some number, some astronomical number. And she said, I'm curious as to why it is that Reverend Al Sharpton and a lot of these African-American leaders don't speak more on this. And then he was like, look, all I can tell you is this. And he just, and then I'm gonna put you on hold and you talk to the crisis people, because if there's something going on, we talking about everything. And I'm like, and he just put her on hold. I'm like, but why not just engage her, talk to her? It's a worthy conversation. Fame, I'm not going to attack you, because what you're saying is not worthy of attack. And I mean it in this way. You're right. He says, just name it. And somewhere a black man is being hated on and being emasculated by a black woman who swears she's doing justice by him. I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true 100%. But that doesn't take away from the fact that black women are seriously under attack. And when I say under attack, black women are dying in large numbers in the United States of America at the hands of everybody. So while what you're saying, I believe to be true, I genuinely do, it doesn't take away from the fact that black women are under attack. Like, couldn't black men be hated on and at the same time, black women be under attack? So I'm not saying that what you're saying is not a valid conversation to have. I hear that conversation somewhat frequently. But I don't hear the conversation about black women and the term she used, femicide, against black women. I don't hear that. Excuse me. I don't hear that conversation very often. So it just partially feels like, what? Femicide? Hey, pay no attention to that man over there. Black men are being disrespected. Hey, over here, let me make a lot of noise so that you don't pay attention to what they talking about over there. Hey. Black men being attacked. Black men. There's one lone voice over here saying, but what about femicide? And black women. So let's not, it's a worthy and valid conversation to have. But anytime you bring up a conversation to draw attention from an important conversation, I always wonder what your motives are. And I'm, for real, when I go to talk about, what can black women do to better whatever, or, why can't single black women find men? And then you get all of these black women calling, well, what about black men? Well, what about black men? You're trying to distract from the conversation that we're trying to have. That's a different conversation. And that's what it feels like. Black women are under attack. Well, black men are disrespected. So what right now? We're talking about black women being killed in large numbers in this country. What did y'all do to CK? CK say y'all really are pieces of S. When an MFer don't agree with you, you create your own narrative. What did y'all do to CK? CK, I don't know about nobody else. I accepted when you said, look, the conversation that you were trying to have was a conversation about whether or not people admit to crimes that they did and didn't do. I thought it was a mistimed conversation to have. It's almost the same thing I was just talking about. It's a mistimed conversation to have when you're talking about rape, women being raped, rape happening. But what about the fact that every time somebody do something and admit to something, they didn't do it? Like, oh no. And that was kind of what it felt like. But I accepted your explanation. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Don't be upset. It's okay. It felt a little rapey, but you cleared it up. For me, you cleared it up. I believe you, genuinely. I'm not just saying that for whatever. I genuinely believe that was what you were doing. So don't be upset. Nat says intimate partner violence is bad on both sides. And again, I agree. As a matter of fact, I think I've gotten in more trouble saying that on the radio than anybody. But Nat, don't you and others, don't y'all notice how, like, if you start to have a conversation about something, and then you bring something else up to include, violence against women is high. Well, what about violence against men? It's like, okay, I understand that's a thing and that's a conversation we should have, but that's not the conversation that we're having right now. And, you have to understand how that feels. Stop punking out. I'm not punking out. I'm being honest. I genuinely believe that he said it. He had no reason to lie to me. He said that was the reason why he was bringing that up. That's the reason why he was bringing it up. I take his word for it. He got no reason to lie to me. Let me see. I do have to get ready to get out of here. Y'all said why I was starting at 5:15, so I kind of stayed a little later. But I do really soon, because of that conversation that I heard on Al Sharpton, I want to have that conversation. But I don't want to just be, rambling like I'm known to do. I want to have some numbers, and I want to have some people to have the conversation with who kind of know what they talking about. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it's a serious enough conversation. Give me some time to set it up, and we'll have an honest conversation about it. Again, I don't know. I'm not trying to fix it. Well, I would love to be able to fix it. And to be able to, get into more people's mind that we really have to pay attention and protect our women and not harm our women. Because some of it is protection. I need to protect my wife. I need to protect my daughter, my granddaughter. Same time, I need to not be the one who harmed my wife. So I'm protecting her, but then I come home and I beat the S out of her. So, you know what I'm saying? I can protect her and not harm her. And I think that's a part of it. But just a part of it. But I do. I want to have the conversation. I want it to be a serious, meaningful conversation. I just didn't like the way he dismissed her. As if, really, it felt like what he was saying, which I don't necessarily say that I believe that this is what he was trying to do. I genuinely believe Like, look, Al Sharpton ain't here to defend himself. And how can I defend the fact that we really don't talk about this very much? I wasn't prepared for this question. So let me just abort. But in doing that, it felt like ain't nobody worried about no femicide. If you got an issue, call the crisis hotline. And I was like, oh, that was all bad. That was all bad. And because of that, I want to have that conversation. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I hope y'all have a wonderful, enjoy the rest of your day. I intend on being on time every day. But I just like to let y'all know that sometimes stuff happens. And sometimes I can't make it on time. I appreciate y'all's patience and y'all's support. Just so y'all know that. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I give some of y'all a hard time because y'all think the rich people are more important than poor people or middle class people, and that rich people need to be protected from those dastardly middle class people, even though you probably middle class. But I still respect y'all and appreciate y'all being here. Well, I don't respect some of y'all opinions about some stuff. I don't think middle class people are horrible people like y'all seem to, or some of y'all seem to. But I appreciate y'all's support and giving me a chance maybe one of these days to change your mind. Hopefully by the end of this year, if you are one of those people who believe working class people have no business living near celebrities or rich people, hopefully by the end of this year, you would be like, you know what? Working class people are not evil, and them living near celebrities doesn't necessarily put celebrities' lives in jeopardy, you know. So hopefully by the end of this year, we'll bring y'all around on some of these things. Are you banned from calling in? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anybody can call in. 717-5464. But yeah, hopefully by the end of this year, we'll change some of these mindsets. Honestly, I believe just pointing out that is your mindset for some of y'all, because y'all denying it like, I don't actually feel that way, but then y'all turn right around and say it. But if I was rich and a celebrity, I would need protection from middle class people. But you just said you didn't feel that way. You clearly feel that way. All right, I'm going off on another tangent. Let me get ready to get out of here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope something amazing happens to you and life-changing happens to you by the end of the day. Yeah, by midnight. I hope something life-changing has happened. Like you get that contract. You get that job. Your kid finally comes home. Somebody you love gets a good diagnosis. Somebody you care about get off that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I hope something life-changing happens for you today. It's been the Afternoon Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.